Power of choice is everything in regards to how you're going to change your life. 2003, I just moved to Los Angeles roughly maybe about 4 years prior, and it was a tough time being an actor. My goal was to be an actor, successful, of course, walk the red carpets, experience all of the flash and fame. I was doing a lot of security work. Honestly, I hated it. I saw the worst parts of Hollywood. So I had a lot of celebrities that would come into the nightclubs, the early influencer days. Paris Hilton, Kim Kardashian, at these high-level Hollywood nightclubs that everyone wanted to go to. Times were literally around the block. People would start showing up an hour before we even open up. While I was there, I really noticed that I started becoming extremely resentful. The arrogance, mean-spiritedness, cattiness, materialism, judging people based on what they had financially or didn't. I was getting paid, I think, $80 cash. I didn't want to go to work. I didn't want to be there. And my thoughts had become so dark, unhealthy. I couldn't stop it. It just kept going on and on and on. Only thing I was doing at that time to keep myself mentally sane, because auditions were not really coming in, opportunities were not presenting itself, and how could they have, right? I was in a really dark mental space. I felt like the world was coming against me a lot. I came out here as this talented actor. I'm doing all this security work and getting paid $80 a day. It's not commensurate to my value. That wears on your soul, wears on your ego. And if you let it wear on your ego, it becomes an umbrella emotional frequency that keeps you down, keeps that emotional frequency down, your signature. And if your emotional signature is down, well, then you're not going to attract anything on the signature that's vibrating on a higher level as you want, such as money or opportunities or synchronicity. So I was in that unhealthy loop. One day I'm at Runyon Canyon, and my boy, looks at me. All I was doing was just working out at the gym every day. So I could be so big that nobody would even want to mess with me. And he saw me running down this, sorry, I'm in the jungle right now. I'm running down the canyon and I had no shirt on. And he's like, yo, damn, I'm not going to say the word, but like, damn, and like, yo, your body is ripped, son. You need to be like an action hero, son. Damn. It stuck with me. The way he said it, the passion for the way he said it from LY, like it just hit. And I remember instantly, and this is the power of choice. This is the power of choice in action. I remember driving home and I said to myself, I'm going to choose every day going forward. I'm going to choose to only think about that thought. I have to lose. Not 15,000 thoughts, just that thought that I'm an action hero. Going forward, I'm going to choose that when I'm at work, when I'm pissed off the most, I'm going to choose to think that I'm an action hero. When people are pushing into me in the club, filling their drinks on me, instead of being mad and be like, you dumb, stupid, reckless, I'm going to turn that energy and I'm going to choose to say, I'm an action hero. And what would an action hero do? How would an action hero speak? If an action hero was in that scene right now, what would he do? How would it go? And then I would envision it and play it out in my head. And I started to do that at the gym, working out. And for days, for weeks, and no matter how much darkness I felt, I just would make the choice. I'm not going to let that hit me. I'm not going to let that resonate or stay inside of me. And I'm going to choose to divert my attention and now put it back to me being an action hero. Because the power of choice is everything in regards to how you're going to change your life. You have to choose to want to change your life. It doesn't just change. You have to make the internal decision. I'm ready to change. I'm ready to do something different. I'm ready to upgrade. This whole reprogramming is all about choice. That's why it's the first video, the power of choice. Cut to 6 months, but I noticed in about 6 weeks or less, synchronicities and things started changing. I met a better group of people, was introduced to yoga, ended up dating a girl who was really nice and actually helped to soften my heart, because my heart had become so hard, and you can't attract anything in your life if you have a hardened heart. It's really challenging to do it because the heart is what connects you to the frequencies of the things that it is that you want. It's a compass. More auditions started to come in. I booked a couple of random things that brought up my confidence more. 6 months into that time from the day I first made that choice, I get a random phone call, and I'm not kidding you. It's a random phone call from someone I've never met before that said he was a producer for one of the networks making a lot of science fiction movies for the Sci-Fi Channel. And at that point, the Sci-Fi Channel, they were like movies a month. They hated dinosaurs, three-headed dogs. People loved them. I get this phone call, and he says, came across some footage of yours, and he wanted to know if I've ever been in an action movie. And I said, not really. I said, I've always wanted to. And he said, well, I'm shooting a movie about dinosaur, raptors that take over this island, and you would have to be a military guy and rescue one of your fallen soldiers. And this ends up happening. You run into these raptors and they start killing all of you or whatever. I'm like, that sounds fun. I'm like, well, when is the audition? He's like, no, you don't have to audition. I literally will never forget. I was like, "Is this a joke?" It was like, "No, this isn't a joke. I'm serious. Does this interest you?" And I said, "Hell yeah, this interests me." Literally, I think it was like a week later, I'm on a plane to Bulgaria, and I'm 22 years old, 23 years old, but it felt right. Why? Because I created it. I literally created off of making a choice to think something different. And in that thought of thinking something different, operating differently, and staying in that frequency, which is the power of discipline, which I'll get to in the next videos. Despite what my external circumstances were showing me, I got paid. I had a bomb hotel suite, and I'm having the time of my life doing exactly what I said I wanted to do, make a movie, which turned out to be, ended up becoming 6 movies. So I'll get into that in the next conversation about how everything unfolded and some of the dangers in how things start to unfold when the things you actually want come into fruition and come into your life. The power of choice is actually every minute, every second, second by second aspect of your life. This is a big game. Every choice you make has infinite possibilities. And that's why you have to choose wisely. And that's also why you have to think wisely and feel wisely and have people around you in your circle who help you choose wisely or don't take you off course, because that level of misalignment will start making you make choices based on other people's interpretations, projections, and not your inner soul, not your soul's purpose. But we're going to go a deeper dive into all of this. I just wanted to give you guys the power of choice as a first nugget in this power series. And I'll see you on the next one.